Hello everyone, welcome to another video in this channel, and today we will focus on understanding what are agentic systems, or more deep dive into it. Now we all know that what are AI agents are, or agentic system. Now I'm pretty sure if you are in this channel, you already know by now. Now in case you know, let me give you a little introduction. Now according to Anthropic, now I'm not going who is Anthropic, but understand Anthropic is another company like OpenAI. They have other like Liberty models, they have Sonnet, Haiku and other models, and they are direct competitor of OpenAI. So they define agentic system, or any system or any software that has to be called as agentic system has to have either two of those. One has to have an workflow and an agent, or both. Okay, so today's video is more into understanding these agentic workflows, and same according to Anthropic, it has identified that there are 5 different types of or design pattern to build an agentic AI workflow. So in this video, we'll understand what are the different types of workflows that are there as per Anthropic, and also see real life examples or use cases that we can build. So this video is going to be in two ways. One, you will understand the patterns, design patterns, and second, also see live on screen, as we do always, some building something on based on this pattern. So it's going to be a very interesting video, and by the end of the day, we are going to take away a lot of things, a lot of learning about agentic systems. So stay tuned and let's begin. Okay, guys. So as I discussed in the intro, we will be talking about and understanding the multiple design patterns of the agentic workflow. But before that, even diving into those workflows, I wanted to make sure that you understand that all these use cases that I have built, which I talk about, I have done it inside N8N. Now, the reason why I took N8N is because it's a very good platform to showcase the visual representation what I am trying to showcase today, and and also want to make sure that all these design patterns are not any platform specific like N8N. If you are using in N8N, you are using in make.com or Opal, the pattern remains the same. Or even if you are coding inside Jupyter Notebook or in VS Code or Cursor, all this remains the same. The pattern is universal. So these are agentic workflow patterns. So you choose the platform, but the pattern will always remain the same. So that's one of the thing that I wanted to make sure that before we deep dive. So the first thing, the first design pattern that we want to see is prompt chaining. Now, what does prompt chaining means? Even before diving in, I want to make sure you understand that there is a representation that you have to face. The in and out are the start and end of the workflow, and all the patterns you will see there is a start and end of the workflow. And then the yellow color or yellow boxes are the LLM calls that we are making, and the blue box is something that is a software, that is a decision that is going to be there. Now, what does then prompt chaining means is that imagine that there is a task that we want to do, and in order to do that, I want to break those tasks into multiple subtasks, so decomposing each in a bigger task into multiple subtasks. Because one LLM's input or output is another LLM's input, right? So I am breaking one task, which is the out that has to be expected. I am breaking and giving those tasks into multiple LLMs. So all these subtasks, so one LLM or LLM 1, 2, 3 is divided into multiple subtasks to get one output to it. So that's chaining. We are chaining based on the prompt. So that's prompt chaining is. Let's go into an example, as I mentioned, and we'll go to N8N now. And if you see here, it's the very similar structure or the of the pattern that I see, there is an in terms of the in form submission, and there is a out on the form submission what we want to see the responses. And then there is a LLM1, which is sentiment classifier, because I want to try and do a sentiment classification, and based on the sentiment classification I want to get a responses, a predefined a tonality of the responses, personalized response. Okay, so let's deep dive. Let me run this, execute this workflow, and let me put my name, and then I am disappointed with, sorry, with the product. It is broken. Is broken. So that's the feedback that I have given. So there's my input that I'm passing, and in the back end, the LLM, the workflow is running for now, and I'll get a response. And the response is, let's see, yeah, we're really sorry to hear you are unhappy, and the quality of the. We understand how frustrating is must be, and thank you for bringing this in narrative. So we have received a response in terms of the out of it. Now what is happening inside, and or the subtasks of all these LLMs are, the first LLM is to classify the sentiment of the feedback. And what I'm saying here is classify the sentiment or the review that I have got, the feedback that is received, into positive, negative, or mixed. So that's the first task that the LLM1 has to do, and it has to give an output as whether it's the review is negative, positive, or mixed. And then there is a gate of the if function, that if node that I'm saying is whether this is positive, negative, or mixed. So there is a if true or false branch that is coming up on this. Now that response of LLM1 along with the gate or the if statement, that goes as an input for LLM2. And here I am giving another prompt to the LLM and saying that create a short summary of the feedback message that you have received. I want you to give you a short response with the sentiment and the summary. And now this is where the things changes. I'm saying a specific task to this LLM, saying that if your response or the feedback is positive, you need to, your tone should be enthusiastic. The if it is negative, it has to be empathetic, and if it is mixed, you have to be appreciative but acknowledging the issue. So this is the another subtask that I have asked LLM2. And now what we are going to go is LLM3 for personalized message. It's a personalizer. What it says that I'm saying, as with what you the responses, the tonality that you have created with the responses, create a personalized following message, take the name, and then give the message to the responses. And this is what I am getting, that we truly sorry to hear about the response that we got on the output. So that's, we are dividing one task into multiple subtasks, or decomposing it into multiple LLMs, and one LLM's in output is another LLM's input, and that's how we are chaining these LLMs together to get a response. So that's LLM prompt chaining design pattern is all about. So that's all. So guys, that was prompt chaining for you. The next design pattern, number 2, is routing. Now what you see in routing is here an input comes in, and the LLM has the task of deciding which of the multiple possible models are selected to carry the specific task or specific function to it. And you see there is the first LLM is a router, and there are LLM 1, 2, 3, sorry, there and can be multiples, 4, 5, 6, 7, as many as it can. But understand these are all specialized LLMs. So the router's job is to route and understand the intent of the intent that is coming from the input, and it then understand based on the input intent, it tries to route it back to the specific specialized LLM who is who can actually perform the task. So the router's job is to classify the task and understand which of the specialist is best equipped to perform the task, right? And the idea is might be have a specialist model, and as shown in LLM 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, as we go on, there are multiple LLMs, and they are good at each different task. So it is very powerful model, and there is the direct and input into specialized subtask, ensuring separation of concern. So that's it, as in routing. And also see, there are no softwares or codes in between, like the what we saw in prompt chaining. These are all LLMs. Actually, the LLM now tries to understand the input and then routes it to the different specialist that it has. So let's go into our uh, NA10 and see router's job. Okay, so here what I have created, give me a second please. Okay, so just to be more tidy on this to make you understand is, so the input as we saw is from a chat ticket. We can the input might be anything, an input coming from different sources, but what I'm trying to do is the router here is the AI classifier. What it does is, I'm saying you are a message classifier and analyze the user's message and classify it into one of these categories. And I have three categories because I've given three specialists. One who understand customer query and understand questions. So intent is question. Then there another intent is complaint, where frustration, issue, or negative feedbacks. And then the third specialist is an email, who understand email, who drafts email and professional messages. So written only the category level in uppercase. So I'm asking that to the router. Now the router understands the intent and routes it to specific specialist. Now we have a question handler where we saw one of this, and it says you are a helpful customer service assistant, answered the customer question clearly and professionally. Okay, so that's the specialist LLM that I have put over there. Then there is a complaint handler which says you are an empathetic customer support specialist, respond to this customer complaint with acknowledgement of the concern, sincere apology, and helpful next steps. And then we are specifying the complaint. The third specialist is an email writer, and I'm saying is you are a professional email writer, rewrite the message as a clear professional email, format with proper subject line and body. So this LLM, so there are three specialist LLM. One is understand the questions, one understands the customer handling, complaint handling, and the another is email. And then there is an output that goes in. So here the most important is the router, because the router has to understand what is the question or intent of the user input and then route it back. So we'll see, let's put it in the chat and say, let's say where is my order. Okay, I'm just saying where is my order, and let's type in. So you see the classifier has understood, and the router, so the classifier understood and the router has actually routed it back to a question, because I asked where is my order. And if you see, there is a smart inbox assistant that is here. It has category detected as question, and the response is, I can definitely help you check your order. So to do so, I need some bit of information. Could you provide me order number, email address? Alternatively, you can manage check your order confirmation email, and all these things it has given. So you see, the router's job is very important because it has to understand the intent of it and then route it back into the specialist LLM who will handle the work accordingly. That's the routing. So guys, I hope you understood about prompt chaining and routing. Now to keep the time and the length of the video, I will create a second part of this to continue the remaining three. So see you on the next video. Thank you.